All right. Episode 21. Welcome back, everybody. This week. 21. Oh, no. Welcome back, everybody. This week. 21. Oh, no. Welcome back, everybody. I had an endless loop of noise coming through. It was myself just saying it over and over again. Mistakes were made. Anywho, episode 21, we're back this week with a guest. Last week, Black Hack and I were on doing our 20th anniversary episode where we did a little look back. This week, we have another special guest in the form of Casper Gaming down here in the bottom.
Hell yeah.
And Casper,
thanks for having me, boys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. He is filling in last minute, but works out superb because normally this would have moved to a Tuesday. So happy to have it stay on a Saturday and get some people watching. In Black's channel on Facebook, you'll see him under, it looked like Trevor, right?
Yep.
So let's just jump right into it. I honestly, I don't know yet what I'll call you. We'll get into why Casper and things like that. But
I'm all over the place too.
Yeah, I mean, you just told me it's like I said it was Casper. And I was like, no, you didn't. You said Trevor the whole time.
You can. I will literally answer to either.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
Well, how about we, Casper? I don't know if you've seen these on Black's channel or not yet. I know you signed up a couple weeks ago, and I've been trying to get to the people who are. Their first appearance, even though we've had some people sign up for a second appearance already.
Mm-hmm.
So you're one of the last ones actually to go through the first appearance before we start jumping back into doubles. So I'm glad we get to have you on.
Yeah.
But I'm going to kick it to you here for like a little intro about, yourself, and then we'll obviously dive into more. But
Well, my name's Trevor. Casper, whatever you want to call me. Glad to be on the Dadcast, considering, dad of 4.
nice.
Married for it's actually funny, my daughter was streaming earlier under my channel for her birthday. She just turned 9 today, anniversary of 12 years, marriage tomorrow. Pretty exciting week for us over here.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's wonderful. Yeah. So 4, you said your daughter turning 9. How about your other 3?
I've got 3 boys, 16, 11, and 6.
Nice. Nice little spread.
Up 10 years spread between the 4 of us. So
are you done at 4? Is 4 the handful?
Done.
You each have 2 hands, right? You each have 2 hands. After that,
yeah.
It's like
right. Should have stopped 3 kids ago, but whatever.
You can't say that with your daughter's birthday and turning 9. I'm sure it's been wonderful.
You can't.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, Black always tells me about the daughter, and it looks like you were blessed with 3 boys and 1 girl. And Black always says like he was worried if he has another girl how he's going to share his love for his daughter Sophia. Is that something you relate to?
Absolutely. You can't. I mean, having the one princess is where it's at, and to be honest, she is. I don't know if you have any girls or, but the daughter is the hardest. My girl is more difficult than all 3 of my boys combined, which is crazy.
Well, I am glad to hear it because I do not. I have 1 son who's 15-month old, and we are expecting our second, recently found out also son, this September, and then that's calling quits for us because we're not doing more than. One each. We're not getting outnumbered.
I wouldn't say the girl's harder. I mean, she's a little more stubborn, but like
you're still in the young phase.
I was gonna say, give it time.
Give it time.
Give it time.
So it's interesting you say that because I've heard that quite a bit from people recently, like coworkers and whatnot, saying sometimes girls are easier in the beginning, but then it gets harder, which you can imagine.
Their attitude is amazing. To put it in one word, is amazing.
What's interesting is it probably gets more and more stressful with the girls too, as they get older.
Absolutely, she is a diva of all sorts.
Oh man. Yeah,
Great.
I wasn't against it. Black was really rooting for me to have my second one be a daughter.
I just wanted you to experience it.
And he was pissed when I told him it was a boy. But
and it's still popping up on my feed where you're cracking that ball, and I'm like, I almost want to color grade it and send it back.
Well, it's funny is I stacked the pink one too afterwards.
You did?
Yeah, I trolled my chat. During my hat giveaway at the end of the month, I found out Monday during the day, and then Monday night I was doing my hat giveaway, and I told him, hey, if you're in chat and you want an extra entry, guess. I did a prediction. Am I having a boy or a girl? And so I had everybody predict, and if you get it right, you get an extra entry, and it was pretty well split. And I show the pink video first. Then you get people hyped. They're like, "Yes, yep. I knew it. Yes." And then I'm like, that was just a fake. Here's the real one.
That's evil.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something. It was fun though. It was fun, but yeah, because it's interesting, Black. You said that. I thought about doing something like that too, like a transition from pink into blue or something. Whatever. You have all those graphic skills, not me. Back to Trevor. Trevor, you are streaming over on Facebook, is what Black said, yeah?
Yep. Facebook gaming currently, and working towards 1,000 followers on TikTok, so that way I can go live there as well.
Nice. Is that what it takes to go live on TikTok? 1,000 followers?
Yep.
Interesting. I'm surprised. I guess it's because of their infrastructure. They don't want to have people that stream to 3 followers, right? They want to have people that are using it for the right reasons, or at least using it, worth it.
The way TikTok does their live algorithm, because it's actually a separate algorithm. You can browse just live videos on TikTok. Mm-hmm. Live has its own For You page.
Yep.
And that's very interesting to see. So not everyone having access to that is like a kind of a one-up.
Yeah, it is interesting. Because these other things don't have that minimum, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't have that minimum. I guess even Twitch, right? You can stream with 0 followers.
0 followers, 0 viewers, doesn't matter.
You can't get affiliate until 50 followers or whatever. But,
right.
That's awesome. How long you've been streaming in general, or did you start on Facebook and you stayed on Facebook, or have you tried other things?
The whole streaming thing has been in the works for me for a long time. I've wanted to do this for a long time. Didn't have the means to really do it for a long time, so I just actually got the handle on it in late December, early January. So I've been about 6 months. I used to do YouTube videos and montages. So out there's a bunch of 360 throwing knife and bank shot montages of Casper from Modern Warfare 2 and up. And so that's where I kind of got my start. And then I got the whole feed from there. And then it kind of transpired to this.
Nice. So I take it your main game is Call of Duty then?
It is my, only game, actually.
Yeah? Only game on stream, or only game in general? Like you just don't find interest in any other ones?
Yeah, I've tried a few other ones. I do enjoy a racing game every now and then, but not on stream for sure. And then a couple times I'll drop in with one of my kids on a different game, but not really.
Yeah. Is it mainly Warzone you're playing? What were you gonna say about racing game?
I was just saying, I think racing games would be really hard to stream because your attention almost has to be 99%.
I stream Mario Kart every Monday.
Yeah, that's Mario Kart. I'm talking about like Formula One.
Yeah.
Come on now. It's Mario Kart. There's
Mario
a banana
Kart,
peel
you
in
can
front
look
of you.
away.
What do you mean? There's a banana peel in front of you.
You can look away.
Come on, my guy. That's lame. What a shot. Manny, tell him. Manny's out there in chat. Tell him, Manny. Mario Kart's rough.
I think he's in both ours.
Yeah. He's offering up $20 over here. $20.
20's a 20.
Yeah. Well, so is it mainly Warzone you're playing, or do you do a little bit of multiplayer too? Or multiplayer?
Multiplayer is what I used to do strictly, solely. Even when Blackout first came out, I really didn't like Blackout because I was kind of I was in the PUBG scene still. and I really got into PUBG, but it was so glitchy and it was so bad, and I got so driven away from it because of all the bugs that I went back to Call of Duty and started doing the multiplayer thing again, and then all of a sudden, another streamer friend of mine, he kind of convinced me into Blackout, and then I was just hook, line, and sinker from there.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't Call of Duty Blackout have its own like battle royale?
Well,
It was within Black Ops.
Yeah, that was what it was called.
Okay.
It was that was the battle royale. Blackout was the battle royale of Black Ops.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the one that, you know, I mean, it was all right.
It was okay.
But I mean, Warzone's taking it to a different level for sure. I just don't know. I honestly, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. Like, are they just gonna keep extending the same game,
kind of like Fortnite?
Like Fortnite does, but the difference seems like. But the difference with Fortnite, right? The difference with Fortnite is it's not churning out this other game too, right? Call of Duty is going to keep coming out with their yearly Call of Duty because they make money on it. They'd be stupid not to. People are still buying it.
So you think the game will have like a massive shift once a year?
Yeah, that's what it looks like it's going to happen. Is every year that when the game comes out, the other team takes over and reskins it, and I mean it makes sense.
It's just interesting because Blackout went away, right?
Right.
They switched to this Warzone. So that's why I was saying, like, it wasn't until Modern Warfare and now Cold War that they kind of kept the same battle royale going. I just didn't know how they'd continue doing it. I mean,
so what do you think?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go.
What do you think's gonna happen when Battlefield 6's battle royale comes out? Because they are hyping that up so much on Twitter, and I'm a huge Battlefield player. You know, like out of all the games I've ever played off stream, it's Halo and Battlefield. I've followed the Battlefield series way more than I've ever followed the COD. I never was into COD like crazy.
Yeah, I was never into Battlefield, unfortunately. I just never the game structure really never appealed to me.
I loved the fact that you could have 100-mile map by 100 miles, you know, a massive square, and the fact that you could snipe at 100 miles. You know what I mean?
Rodeo thinks BF6 is gonna kill COD. We'll see.
It might.
We'll see. I mean, it might kill the battle royale. Unfortunately, I don't think it's ever gonna kill the multiplayer Call of Duty because that's just a different community. But
it really is. It's its own beast. You know, the multiplayer within COD is its own animal.
Yeah. I'll ask you, Casper, because I mean, you said multiplayer was your thing, and you know you've been playing since MW2. It sounds very similar to me. I started on PS3, MW2, and for me, nothing ever came close to it. Game wise, like all the Call of Duties after, just they were good, but they could never live up to my expectation of MW2. Right? It was just too good of a game.
Modern Warfare 2 will never be recreated ever. Between the toxic lobbies that were just so fun that we all loved, to you know, the one-man army and noob tubes. I mean, you just can't recreate it. It's something that they'll never.
The maps were fantastic, right? It wasn't like, oh, I don't want to play this map. It was like all of them were legit.
Every single map had everything from good sniper sight lines to good close quarter SMG battles. So I mean, it something that they have not been able to fulfill since. But they've made some good games since, just not.
Yeah, I got out of it. My crew that would play it, we have a 6-man squad most of the time, and we kind of got out of it in the futuristic days.
Yeah, same as us. We all dropped it with the jump packs and the boost. Like that was wall running.
There were a few of the Black Ops that were fun where you could pick your operator and then you'd get a special ability every single time. Like it'd be okay, but yeah, not nearly as much fun as like the ground to ground combat without the futuristic stuff going on, right?
Right. I think they're bringing it back to what it used to be.
Oh yeah,
it's what it feels like. You know?
I agree. Well, that's cool. Have you guys played together yet?
Oh yeah, we dropped a couple Warzone tip.
Nice.
I think we got a dub. Like what our third game in?
You didn't get banned when you were playing with him, Casper, for cheating or hacking?
Thankfully not.
Okay.
Riley was beating me in the dirt today.
Listen, when I see a hacker, I don't report just the hacker. I report the whole goddamn team.
Yep.
You're in it. Whether you're cheating or not, you know your buddy's cheating. You know.
Yep.
Oh my god. Riley had dropped like a 9-kill game earlier, and like I had 1 kill.
Yeah.
But I haven't been playing Warzone as much as I was.
So who was playing for Riley?
Yeah, right. Was his camera on or off? Was his camera on or off?
He wasn't even streaming.
It was off. Oh, okay, yeah. Wasn't him. Somebody else logged into the account. No, I'm working up to it, but I've been a controller. Do you play controller, Casper, still? Or do you... Yeah. I figured if you said you were playing early on COD, you probably stuck with it.
No, that's the Astro Steve 40.
I'm playing.
Gotta have those paddles.
Yeah. For real, I think paddles are a must.
So
especially in Warzone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was the big thing. That was the big thing for me that kept me from wanting to play Warzone. Is like I was playing controller on PS4. I bought Cold War for the PC, and I had been playing Fortnite on mouse and keyboard for a year and a half, whatever it may be. And my friends started to play Warzone, and I'm like, I don't want to hook my controller up to this computer. I want to work PC or, work the mouse and keyboard. And I just was like struggling to get it under control. So it's taken me a lot to buy into it. But if I keep having nights like I've had the last few, I'll probably stop playing. But if I can get back to where I'm content, hey, 5 kills, 2 deaths, hey, I'm good with this kind of thing. That's great. I'm never going for high kills. But if I don't lose every gunfight, I like the game. If I lose every fucking gunfight, I'm done with it.
Dude, I watched you squad wipe the other day in COD.
Yeah, so it's not consistent. You know what I mean? Well, here's the thing. Yeah. What you need to know, Black, about me, and with Casper saying Modern Warfare 2, I've always been the 1 KD line. Like no matter what, I can have. What one was it? Was it Modern Warfare 2 or is it one after where you started dropping the nukes, Casper? I can't remember.
It was Modern Warfare 2.
It was Modern Warfare 2. I mean, I've had my nukes. I was always pumped when I'd be able to drop a nuke on people, right? I would have those games where I would just go on a tear. But then I would always balance it back with just some shitty 2 and 9, some bad games that just always leveled me back out to a 1 KD, and I just couldn't get over it. And I always had to be the methodical player, right? I had buddies who could literally stand on sprint the whole time, right? And just be wiping people out. And I'm like the player where it's like, if I don't take my time and, move strategically, I'm going to die. Like I just wasn't fast like that.
You'd see like the millisecond ADS and sniper shots. And
yeah. What he was talking about, what you were talking about with the 360 knives and I don't even attempt those things. I've never attempted any of them in my life. Like I just don't have any confidence that I would ever be able to pull it off. So I'm like, I'll just take the
we were talking about the other day about my sensitivity levels on controller and how my sensitivity is maxed out, and it's because I'm so used to playing and doing those trick shots and those 360 throwing knives that I just got used to playing like that. And Black had suggested, hey, just knock your sensitivity down just a little bit more, and you won't be missing those couple bullets, and your accuracy will go up. And sure as shit, it did. Yeah.
Oh,
you're
like,
the
lower the better the tracking.
Shots anymore. Yeah, I can't do trick shots anymore, but who needs a trick shot?
I mean, I haven't done those in so long that it's just, and I had that fear that I wouldn't be able to track, but I'm still tracking without a problem. So,
yeah,
that's awesome.
I 100% agree. Like Warzone is all tracking, because everyone's mobility inside of Warzone is getting greater and greater every day. Yep. And that was when I realized, I was a 2500 DPI playing it 10 games since. Like I was doing 360s like Caesar. I was just moving my wrist, and one day I just was like, you know what? I have to do something. I can't track someone to save my life. I'm either in front of them or I'm behind them. And then the day come, I lowered my sense to 800 and 2.6 game sense. Now I'm at 400 DPI and 2.3 game sense. I gotta move. I gotta break my arm to move. And like Caesar hinted the other day, like talking about Fortnite, and I'm like, dude, I seriously don't know if I can go back to Fortnite because my shoulder was killing me after an hour of Fortnite. It was killing me.
It's for me, mouse and keyboard. I just can't do those numbers that you're listing. Like I work on a computer all day. I want my mouse where I want it, when I want it.
Yeah.
And the numbers you're given, like I feel like I'd be moving in sludge. You'd be like,
oh, it is sludge.
Get over here. Yeah, I don't want that.
Oh yeah, when I'm outside of the game, I'm 800. You know, that's a smooth move, you know, outside of the game.
I'm an 1800.
Ugh, I used to be that way. I did, but like I can't do it anymore.
Well,
and my KD doubled in a week. Like once I got used to it, like that's when all the sus clips started.
It's not the fact that it's the fact that you lock on. You know, you go from
that's
here
my
to here and lock on.
DPI. Because when I move, it stops. It's boom. Shabam. I had one the other day. I'm waiting to post it.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
It was sus. Even Riley went, stop.
Yeah. Casper, so we'll circle back to the hat that Black brought up before we got started. You know, the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
And so I'm not necessarily a Detroit Lions fan. I follow players more than teams. I'm from Pittsburgh, but I've never been a Steelers fan. I live far enough away that I didn't really care enough. I was a huge Georgia Tech fan. It's a school I wanted to go into, but I didn't get in because I was out of state, I guess, and you have to have ridiculous numbers to get in. But I was a Calvin Johnson fan, and I mean, we can talk. My wife and I can talk about why my son is named what he's named, but his name is Calvin for Megatron. 100% in my mind, that's what it is.
That's cool.
How devastated were you when he decided to retire at 9 years in the league?
Almost as heartbroken as I was with Barry. It's just one of those things that it hurts. Yeah. It really does. I was a huge fan. I was at the game where he broke the record. I've got the ticket stub from that game as well as a picture of the catch against Atlanta when he broke the record, framed. It's hanging next to a framed autographed Barry Sanders jersey. It's my passion. Yeah. He was one of my favorite players as a receiver since, I mean, maybe even Herman Moore, Johnny Morton days. And to see him go out like that sucks. And then I thought we had a saving grace with Kenny Golladay, and then now he's gone too. And I'm just like, well, here we are with nobody.
Yeah. And then
wish I had that much passion for something outside of my control. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wish I had that much passion for something, and I just don't. So I don't understand it. But my mom, she broke her TV the day Ohio State broke like the win record. Like what was it, like 14-0 for the season or whatever, and broke her fucking brand new plasma at the time was the shit. You know, broke it. My dad was so mad. She was just so hyped. She fucking threw the remote and it bled. That TV bled. And dude, I come from a family that my parents, they both love sports. My dad's a huge boxing fan. And, you know, now he's more UFC. And my mom is a hardcore basketball or football fan. And, you know, my mom's even getting hyped over golf, bro. Like, she's screaming. Like, she's jumping up and down. Go! And I'm like, Mom, it's just golf. The ball rolls slow. And, like, I don't have that kind of passion for sports like them. But to, like, hear you guys talk about it is, I wish I had that.
See, for me, I grew up 15 minutes away from the Pontiac Silverdome where the Lions played forever when I was growing up. I work 20 minutes away from Ford Field where they play now. So it's so easy for me to be able to, you know, access them and they're part of my everyday life. So, I mean, even I don't know if my camera will catch it, but even my wedding ring is Detroit Lions, which is kind of funny. My wife married me and the Lions.
So I've only been engulfed in a professional team. Like one professional team, it was the Yankees. Like I said, I'm from Pittsburgh, but you know the Pirates were never great, and I was the biggest Derek Jeter fan. So I was in on the Yankees. I wore a Yankee hat into Fenway. They were not even playing the Yankees. And if you know anything about Major League Baseball, that is a rivalry, and that is just something you don't do. And I was a elementary school, probably like 8. I can't remember when we took that trip, but the mascot of the Boston Red Sox took my hat off of an 8-year-old kid and wiped it on his, his costume ass, right? Of an 8-year-old kid. They were not playing the Yankees, but that's just the way it was, right? And other than that, like now, I'm kind of at peace being more of like a player fan or a player hater. Like that's basically what I am. And I love seeing people around me miserable. So I live outside of Philadelphia now. I love to see, it'll be a blessing if the Sixers get knocked out here soon. I love it. I love seeing them all miserable. But my passion went to college now. I went to Penn State. So the same way Black was talking about Ohio State and his mom, I would be breaking it for another reason, right? Because I didn't want that to happen. So I see that. I see what Black you're referring to, and man, I can relate to what you're talking about, because you basically were a part of it, right? In your mind, you're like right there. For me, that's how I feel about Penn State, because I went to school there. Like I feel like I have something in it, even though I've never been like, I'm not a part of the team. I never did anything like that, right?
Right.
But you being right in there, it just feels like everything. You go get a coffee, people are talking about it. You go do that, like it's just like it's there. It's hard to.
And I mean, like on Thanksgiving, when you guys are sitting down with your families and there's football on the TV in the background in most houses in in America, I'm not home. I don't stay home. I go to the game, and that's part of the thing with my wife married me, and the Lions. Part of the territory. I go to the game every year. Every Thanksgiving is every
Nice.
year. It is an atmosphere that is unlike any other.
Is it home? Is it home every year? I can never know. Like,
Every year.
Is it home?
Yeah, we host Thanksgiving every year.
And the Cowboys host as well.
Cowboys,
So,
yeah.
I know it was the Cowboys in Detroit. I just didn't know that it was always home, to be honest. I don't think I've ever paid attention to that piece of it.
Yeah, Dallas and Detroit both host at home every year, and then now for the past 6 or 7 years, they've hosted a third game that rotates teams.
Yeah, the night game. Yeah. That was the game I think Antonio Brown went off a few years ago at night. I think he was on my fantasy team at the time or whatever.
Right.
But no, I was interested to hear, because I was bummed, and I'm not a Detroit Lions fan, but I was a Calvin Johnson fan. I'm just like, I mean, you make the right decision, man. You know, no matter how big you are, how good you are, if your body's taking a toll, you make the right decision. It just sucks to see something like that, because people are still talking. I think it was like, I mean, I watch ESPN a lot. I'm a sports guy, and they were, DK Metcalf was having a hell of a year last year, and somebody on there was comparing him to Calvin Johnson, and whoever the other person was just like, no, I mean, he's having a good year, but there's just not going to be another physical specimen of Calvin Johnson. It's just like ridiculous.
Yep.
But well, Black, what are you passionate about then? If it's not sports?
I was about to say, I think the closest thing I can relate to like hearing about sports at like the like the water outlet at work. You know what I mean? Like the water jug talks. What is that thing called?
I don't know. Water jug.
But you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
And I think the closest thing I can relate to that is everyone talking about the Cardinals game when Albert Pujols was like on like a crazy game, and everyone was into it. And then like I did a little bit of research, and like I got a little into it, finding out how like amazing this was to the sports people. And like, don't get me wrong. It was very interesting to be a part of, but as far as something I'm passionate about, I have no fucking clue.
Were you not out that way when
I was here. I was here.
No, I mean,
like, you couldn't.
No, were you out there? So Albert Pujols, but like Albert Schmalbert for me. The thing that I remember growing up was the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa battle back and forth. And so you're talking about that area, and you mentioned the Cardinals and obviously Chicago, right? And you're in Illinois. With Sammy Sosa, like that's what I remember as a kid. Like that was just a back and forth battle. I think my family took a trip out the Midwest that year, and we hit up some baseball fields across that. My family, Casper, does a lot of like more baseball, and we did baseball trips. So we would go to these different fields. And when we did Midwest, I think we saw Mark McGwire during that streak, like hit a home run during it. I think it was against the Pirates, to be honest, in St. Louis. But so Black, you're saying were you out that way when that was going on, and were there? I guess you were pretty young.
Illinois is
at that point,
divided. No,
no,
I
that
was
had to
out
be
of high school.
that had to be early 2000s, I think, right? That was early 2000s.
Albert Pujols?
Something like that.
No, not Albert Pujols.
right
not
no,
Albert Pujols.
no,
The
Oh,
other one.
okay.
Sosa, McGuire.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh,
that
I
was
don't
early
know.
2000s.
My parents weren't huge into baseball. No, it was always football and
But you're
boxing.
saying you got into like the Albert Pujols discussion because it was going on at
Oh,
work
yeah.
and yeah.
Oh yeah, it was hard not to get sucked into it because I couldn't turn on the fucking radio without hearing about it. I couldn't turn on, I couldn't walk around at work without someone saying, "Dude, you see the game last night?" And I'm like, "No, I give
No.
fuck less."
Yeah.
But like, eventually, someone talks about it so much that like
You get into
you
it.
have to wonder, So like, I did my research so that I could just have a normal conversation with someone at work.
I'll give you a reference for me. It was like 2 months, or sorry, not 2 months. I don't know how long the seasons were. I guess a couple months. I was seeing all these random cartoon posts, right? Barstool Sports was posting a lot of them of this game, this shooter game, building and the shooting game. And I'm like, what is that? Like, and then like, I got into it and I went full throttle into that Fortnite game, so.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we're talking about, it's a, whether you want to agree with it or
wife,
not.
My wife hates the day that happened for me. I'm telling you right now, my wife hates the day because, the same way your wife married you in the Detroit Lions, she married me in Fortnite, basically.
Dude, okay, so like,
because
our situations are similar because it was my buddy that got me into Fortnite. I wasn't playing video games very often. I was working constantly, and then I had a buddy. He was staying here because like he just wanted to stay here for a little while and get his shit together. So he stayed and he was always playing Fortnite. And then one day I sat down and it was like,
yeah.
I was addicted.
So what's interesting about it? What's interesting about it? I was the same as Casper, right? I was new Call of Duty came out. I got the Call of Duty. I played multiplayers with a bunch of guys, and like that happened every year. But it only lasted about, I want to say, 3-4 months. By January, February, those came out October, November. By January, February, we were like, I don't know, once a week texting each other to play. Like it wasn't every night, because when it came out, it was every night for 3-4 hours a night.
Yeah,
I think I was that way with Halo when I was, younger.
So let me just say, when I started dating my wife, that's what I did when I bought it, and she knew when release day was because I'm going to pick it up at midnight. I'm going to be playing, and she
camping out, ma.
She would be getting me, she would get me. She would go to Target, get like candy and snacks and energy drink or whatever.
So cute.
Yeah, she don't do that no more. She don't do that no more.
Grow the fuck up, Caesar.
No, it's because I'm on it every night for 4 hours a night, every night. Not just for like 3 months, or whatever. Yeah. Like it's a totally different thing. So I imagine, Trevor, come Sunday, Detroit's on. Don't talk to you, right? You're like locked in.
Pretty much, if I'm not at the game, if I'm not at the game, it's because they're away. If I'm not at the game and they're at home, it's on TV, on the radio. It probably because I'm working, but it's on the radio in the shop. My guys, my employees have to deal with it. So,
Nice.
So here's the thing, Caesar. So what was your main hobby when you first got with your wife? Was it the COD addiction with the boys and stuff? Or like, did you have something else that was like a main hobby? Because you're not gonna believe mine.
So for me, I've been playing summer baseball since I graduated. I mean, I played all grown up, but after I graduated college, I moved out here, had to take a year off for knee surgery, and after that, I've been playing summer baseball. So I was playing summer baseball. She would go with me to the games. I think hated being there because she's not a sports person. And baseball recreationally in the sun in the heat is not really enjoyable anyway. But I did that during the day.
Was she in the stands for you?
See, I can. She probably didn't know what the score was most of the time, you know. But anyway, I played. So I played baseball, and then every night I'd play for a couple hours a night with my buddies. I went to my younger brother and our buddies that went to high school with us. That's what we did.
Nice. What about you, Casper?
God, with me it was work. Before I met my wife, it was work. That was it.
Yeah.
I was 96 hours a week just grinding, and that was it. And then I met my wife, and we had a very, very fast relationship where we met in October, we were engaged in November, and married in June.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fast
so
planning.
It was quick.
Fast
it was
planning.
quick. And
no
then
playing.
Nope. It was one of those things that I got off work one night, she walked in the bar, and I knew. It was crazy. It's like, that's it, you know. And so that happened. Shortly after that, we wanted to have kids, and I knew doing that I was actually towing, and there was no way I was going to be able to work 96 hours a week and have a family. Just the two would not work. So she worked for this relatively new company out near us called Costco, and she got me in, and it's all history from there.
Costco, like the wholesaler.
Yeah.
Is that? I feel like Costco's everywhere now.
It is now. It back then wasn't.
We don't have one.
Yeah, Chicago. You're in Illinois, right?
Yeah, but Chicago's like 6 hours for me.
Yeah, I was to say there's like 16 of them right in Chicago. Our main Midwest headquarters is in Chicago, but I go to Chicago every other year for training, and then every year for a meeting. So I'm there twice a year.
Man, when me and my wife first got together, I was either fishing or I was mowing, or I was at work. It was one of those three. That's no lie. I was one of those three. And then when we moved up here, that all changed. But yeah, when we first got together, and it was to the point she was mowing with me. You know, she was on the zero, or I was on the zero turn. She was just on the, normal mower. Or I was brush hogging and she was on the zero turn. Like that's all I did, when we first got together. I lived in a place where the only internet I had was on my phone. So like I would hotspot to watch Netflix at night.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the key things for me, because I don't plan on staying in this house forever, and that's one of the key things for me is going to be I have to have the internet, because I operate too much on that stuff these days. That I don't want to go back. Like when I go to my parents' house and I try to take my Switch there just to play some type of game while I'm going, I'm so annoyed, because it's like I just don't know how I grew up on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's just such a difference. Like the lag. I'm like, why would I ever play on this? Like, how did I ever enjoy this? But somehow I did. Bubbles did say that it sounded like a very similar story for her and Swerve. I don't know if you've met Swerve. Has Casper played with Swerve? And you, Black? No.
He knows of him. It's
I know
Brian
him.
and
It's
Brian.
Yeah. So Bubbles is Swerve's wife, and she said they met in October and married the following June as well. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
If it was 2009,
you guys might have you guys might have had the same wedding. No, that's awesome. I mean, I relate to you on like the speed at which my wife and I
2009.
I was
a fucking sophomore.
Bubble said 2015.
Gotcha.
Bubble said 2015.
He said I was a sophomore.
Yeah.
I already had a child at that point.
Yeah. No, I was freshman in college that year, 2009. My wife and I had we didn't get married that fast. But I mean, we definitely were on, I knew, like I was pretty, I was out in the field and, going on date. I'd meet a girl out and then I'd go on a date with her, and I realized like, okay, this is kind of going to be like just a little, hey, let's hang out. And then I realized I don't really want to date them, and either, they cut it off because they sent it, or I cut it off because I'm not feeling it, whatever it may be. But with my wife, it was different. It was like, you kind of know, like, it's like, this is where it's going. So, and then it's just a matter of like, I had like we got married in 2018. We met in 2014 started dating in January 2015. So we dated for about 3.5 years before we got married. Only like 2 years before we got engaged, I want to say. And then we had like a 1.5 year engagement.
Nice.
But
Me and
I
my
only
wife
had
didn't get married for a while.
Yeah, I only had one formal, like, official exclusive girlfriend before that. Everybody else was just like, hey, I went on 3, 4, 5 dates, 10 dates, whatever with people. How the first one ended, like all of a sudden, it was when I was young, so understandable. Things grow a little bit faster there. Dating for almost 3 years and then it kind of abruptly stops. I told myself I need to date somebody for at least 3 years before I'm willing to jump into like a marriage with them because of how fast that other one just changed. It was like,
right.
I don't want to get into a marriage and then it like change.
Drop of a hat. Yeah, it's done.
But at the same time, it didn't matter. It was just completely different. It's age thing too, like you go through, you mature a little bit, and you start to realize, and so does that other person. So it's interesting.
Extremely.
It's
my wife tells me all the time I need to go back to fishing.
Dude, you probably should.
Like if fishing could pay the bills, I would do it.
It probably could.
Listen, I was gonna say there are some professional fishermen that.
Oh yeah, they are, but they also have $30,000 boats.
Well, sell all your streaming equipment, and you might have
only
some
be halfway.
good start.
Dude, you could live stream it while you're fishing. That'd be a nice time to talk to chat.
Bro, right, I think we're onto something here.
Yeah,
you can
I would
mobile
live stream fishing while
mobile
trying to.
I mean, it's possible.
It would work to a point, but like you would have to have it like you would have to have a lapel mic so that you could whisper.
No, absolutely not. Earbuds.
I am a firm believer
that fish hear you.
I'm a firm believer in
I was about to
silent fishing.
Don't talk.
I think that's why I loved fishing with my wife, because it was like, shut the fuck up. The fish will hear you.
Oh my god. No, dude, I think your wife is on. I think your wife is onto something. I think you should think about it because it would be a nice relaxation. Get you away a little bit, and if you can turn it into something that you can live stream, that'd be cool. You could talk to chat while you're fishing. Everybody's just sitting there with their line in the water.
I would even like go as far. I'm not going to give away my secrets. Never mind.
Okay.
I would have like crazy commands if I was streaming while fishing. And then you need to get the Google glasses so you could read chat in your eye.
There you go. You're on to something, dude.
Exclamation point lure.
You're not sitting at
exclamation point lure, exclamation point cast, and then have someone like Gigabyte code me some software. Oh, dude.
Dude, they're like, they get to put the bits in or the stars to make you reel it back in. Recast or whatever.
Recast.
Yeah.
1,000 stars recast, bastard.
1,000, right. 5,000 stars, jump in the water.
Yeah, I'd do it. I'd do that for $50 all day.
Listen, we're onto something here. We're onto something.
Miranda!
Listen,
get the boat ready.
You staring at the screen all day can't be good for you.
Okay, so
but that would be pretty cool.
My last seizure, when Ari was talking to my wife, I'm still a little butthurt about that. That was his number one.
Look. You should know.
That was his number one.
You should know he cares about you.
Whatever. When he was talking to her, he talked and he was like, it can't help that he's sitting in front of the monitors. And like, I will say that's the one thing I always ask my doctor. And I'm like, to supplement my disability, I sit in front of a computer all day. And, with that drying up, I have to do it even more. And is this affecting my issues, And they're like, no. You literally have to be in front of your monitor 24/7 and like up on it the way they explained it to me. And I'm like, I set an arm lengths of distance from all my monitors. I can do this and not touch my monitors. I'm at a safe distance. I have, the monitor I bought helps with that. There is a functionality for people with, epilepsy. And I don't have epilepsy. They don't know what I have. But, my monitor, when I get flashbanged in Warzone, what you guys see is different from what I see.
Sure.
You know, it notices a quick change and it buffers it. Like it'll dim my monitor's brightness and then it'll slowly bring it back. So when I get flashbanged, it's even worse than being flashbanged on a normal monitor. You know?
So what I will say, Black, is, and I mean, you can tell me what they tell you all the time, and I'm sorry for all the doctors, nurses, or anybody in the medical field that I might offend with this. But if people had all the answers, you wouldn't have millions of people with cancer dying to cancer, or millions of people going through the things that they go through. You'd be able to solve it. So, what the fuck?
What do you?
Where'd you get this, bud?
Hold on. Hold it up.
In a box?
Hold it up. What kind of Durango? Question mark.
Oh, it's got all the lights on it too. Oh yeah, because mom ran over the trash cans the other day. Yeah. Yeah. I'll replace it tonight, okay? Thank you.
Oh god.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just shut the door, bub. You got it.
What kind of car?
It's for my truck.
What make model is truck?
It's a 2009 2500.
Chevy Silverado.
No,
right.
Ram.
Oh, Ram.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she fucking backed over the trash can. All I hear is the fucking turbo go and then smacks it. She didn't know she hit something.
Damn.
I was dying of laughter. Like, it sucks we had to replace that, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I guess so my thing is, Black, I just don't know, you know, with so much uncertainty in medicine in general, right? There are certain things that you see every day and you can solve, right? And then there are other things that are like unknown, and like for somebody to not know how to describe what you said, you know, epileptic, right? Yeah, if you don't have epilepsy, I have a speech impediment right now, but you don't have that, but they don't know what you have, right? Is what you're saying, and then somebody to say no, staring at a screen all day is fine. It's kind of like ass backwards, in my opinion, right? And like,
well, like if I was diagnosed with epilepsy, that means I'm having certain seizures in a certain time period about like everything that's happening. You know, cool. But like my seizures are sporadic and they come in batches, or I have one every month, or you know, it's actually to the point I have one every month, and then sometimes I get them in batches. Like I think it was 3 months ago, I had 2 seizures back to back, and this time I had 3 back to back. So that tells me that they're getting worse; they're not getting better, and I think that irritates me even more. And then I you know, like stress can trigger a seizure. Okay. So like, I think the fact,
stress, you know what doesn't cause stress?
One sec. Let me get this out.
Yeah, Casper's got it.
Yeah, no shit. So when I was in the shower, you know, I had that seizure, and then you know my boy had asked me something, and I think that had been weighed heavy on me, and that's what triggered the other seizure. And then, you know, I was having stress all day, and then I was texting you. I was, you know, I was already agitated. And then my wife left, and then I'm worried, you know, like, I don't care what anyone says. When your wife is pregnant and she's gone with kids, like, you worry. And then there was just a bunch of triggers going on. And then I ended up in the hospital yesterday. So, like, I think the first seizure was fine. You know, it just happened. I had a breakthrough seizure. And then all the seizures that come after that were just stress related. You know, like.
We'll circle back to
that's my opinion.
We'll circle back to what doesn't cause stress.
Yeah, fishing.
Casting that line.
Yo, what's up, Dennis?
Feet in the sand, you know, or whatever. Toes in the water, whatever you want to do. However
you want to do. Beer in the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think we're on to something there. I want you to really consider it. You know? Start looking into what the Google Glasses cost. And you're probably still talking to your son.
That was my daughter. And they're like $89. for
what they are?
the smallest version.
The ones that you would be able to read when you go through, like you
Nah,
can read them?
I think it's like $300 and you can browse the internet. So I would have to get like my chat bot on there, like
That's
whatever.
pretty
If I
cool
was
though.
on
You could
Twitch.
definitely do that. Or Facebook,
Oh, yeah, there's a
right?
way to
Facebook
figure
you
it
can read
out.
it.
Yeah, we have a pop out.
Yeah, you could definitely read a Facebook chat window.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be so fire. Oh, that'd be so great. You would find a whole new market. There'll be a whole new
100%.
market.
100%. Listen,
Oh, I
first.
know. I would have to reactivate my old Instagram.
Yeah, that would be a whole new market. You're just sitting there fishing and people interacting with you, and you just being able to have a chat with people and not be locked onto a screen and finding this guy or that guy in Warzone, like just catching fish.
Whatever.
Think about it.
Oh,
Think about it.
In the day of like my seizure in the shower, that morning I was seeing all kinds of weirdness. Like I knew I was gonna have one that day, so I went to the eye doctor because that's what my neuro tells me all the time. If you're having vision issues, go to the eye doctor. Well, I don't. They tell me all the time, this isn't a vision issue. This is a neurologist issue. And so I have a neuro-ophthalmologist, which is just
both of them together. Both of them combined.
So it's the most fucked up thing, and it cost $180 just to see her out of pocket one time with insurance. That's just walk in. Now, if I have to do a test with her, that's a separate bill.
Yeah, it's
it's so fucked.
You gotta move to Canada, man.
That's what Riley said, or Bitsy said. She was like, "Move to Canada." Yeah, they wouldn't accept me. It's like pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, there'd be a pre-existing conditions not allowed in.
Yeah.
Well, so 16. I remember 9 and 6. What was the other one? I know it was in between.
11.
11. How's that? So 16, quickly approaching graduation. Right, that's quick.
Yep. Just bought him his first car.
Nice. What kind?
Pontiac Vibe.
Okay. And
it's funny because it's a 2005. He was born in 2005. The car is actually older than him. Works out perfect.
That's hilarious. So, is he permit still, or has he gotten his license?
Yeah, he gets his license in July.
And how's that going? Are you mainly teaching him, or your wife?
So, have you ever ridden in a car with somebody and you just are so deathly afraid for your life?
Yeah, my wife is the only driver in the home.
Picture that times 10. It's like,
oh my god,
it is a stressful situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. My boy just bought me a tail light, so.
I haven't. So I remember my mom, I think, pretty much taught all three of us how to drive. I don't know why my dad didn't. Maybe he did a little bit. Some he did, but it was mainly my mom taking us to doing the parallel parking and things like that. We went to like a industrial site, and then there's a curb there. You put the cones or chairs out, and like you can park in whatever. But I find myself never not. I know, Black, this might hurt you a little bit, right? No, I find myself never not driving anymore.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I find myself like having a hard time not being the one driving. Like, I gotta go with my wife. Yeah, I always want to drive just and she hates riding with me, to be honest, because she hates my style of driving. But like, I hate her style of driving.
Defensive driver.
But even when my buddies want to go somewhere or something now, it's like I'm always just the one like, hey, I'm gonna drive, and jump in the car, because like I just don't. I have to be sleeping. Like, it has to be like a vacation where I'm getting in the car and sleeping for hours, because I just can't take somebody else driving. Like, the choices that other people make, all of that just like drive me absolutely nuts. So you teaching your son, who's probably trying to learn how to do that, has to be fun.
Yeah. It's stressful. I live on a dirt road. I'm a quarter mile off the main road. And the main roads around here, speed limits are all 55 miles per hour. So it's like, there's no slow go. There's no slow go.
Once you get off the dirt road, it's like, get ready to go.
Yeah.
Damn.
I remember the first time I drove with my mom, and it was in our van. I think I was like 14, We were on the farm, of course. We weren't out in the middle of the town or nothing.
Sure.
And she was like, "Oh, just go over, grab that, put it in the back of the van, come over." Unattended. I was like, "I love you." And I want to say the first time I drove my dad's truck unattended was like 18. My mom always had me doing stuff, run into the store or whatever, once I had my license. But my dad never let me touch his truck. And the first time he did, I was so giddy. But like I was trying to play it cool. So I was like, yeah, I could do that.
Not a problem.
It was like, my dad, he's, I think that's where I get my truck addiction. My dad has always had big trucks. And like, I think his first truck was a 2008, like first like truck that he'd done up all nice and pretty. It was like a 2008 Dodge Ram 2500, and he had it all deleted. It was gorgeous. And, that was when I fell in love with diesel. Dude, I'd never forget the first time he told me to do it. I had to pick up a bunch of mulch, and, I had to take the truck, and, I had the trailer and everything, and I felt like a king.
I would have felt scared shitless.
Yeah, my dad, the whole time, like, he was like, call me when you get there. Call me when you're on your way home. And, make sure your phone's on and on the dash. Because, like, the Dodges have, like, a little cubby up there. And, is whatever. I loved it, though. I was so excited. Other than that, I was always driving my mom's Excursion or the van or, the Jeep. And
it's not the same.
Excursion's massive, and a Ford Excursion is bigger than a truck.
Yep.
And I drove a Ford Excursion. That was my first real vehicle that I had completely to my own. Other than, my Jeep or my mom's Jeep that I just drove all the time for her. But like my first real vehicle, completely my own, title, license, insurance, everything, was a Ford Excursion. And it, it was diesel too, and I loved it. It had fucking almost fourth row seating. The fucking thing was a limo. I loved it. Nom, 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 nom.
I was smaller. My first car was a 2001 Toyota Celica.
Ooh, that's a fun little car. Was it manual?
No. I was not doing manual. I mean, I could. I never formally learned how to drive a manual or drove one on the main road, but I've drove somebody else's through a parking lot. I never. So look, you put your hands on your head, but like.
Loved my little Cavalier. That was a manual. Yeah, I burnt the clutches out of that. Like
as bad as it's gonna sound, I like the idea of multitasking while driving. Okay.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's a lot harder to do when it's a manual.
Sometimes, you got to use your elbow.
I right now I drive an hour and 15 minutes to work. I would never want to do that in a manual.
I agree. I hated driving in Belleville because it was like stop go.
It would be a fun thing to do if it's like your weekend car or something like that, and that's how I treat. Like I don't own a motorcycle. I would one day like to own a motorcycle. I don't know if I ever will get to because my wife won't want me to have one with the kids and everything like that. But like I want a motorcycle to ride like a bicycle, right? Just
There's
leisurely.
Automatic motorcycles.
That's what I'm saying. It would be a
They're
leisure
very
thing.
expensive.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying I don't want it to be automatic. It's a leisure thing.
Okay.
So I'm not annoyed by having to. I mean, first of all, I'm not fucking multitasking on a motorcycle. Okay. I'm going to fucking.
He's not texting and riding, only texting and driving.
Yeah. Basically, that's what we're getting at here.
Not very much.
Kids, this is
you only do it once.
Kids, this is building character, also known as the Dadcast. Please do not text and drive.
That's a formal statement.
For sure.
So yeah, it was not a manual. Sorry, it was my first car. It was not a manual. I actually looked at a used 2002 Celica, maybe a year or two ago before this pandemic happened. As like because I have a Silverado now, but I drive 50 miles a day. I would have had my Civic, which was paid. It was like 4 months away from being paid off before it got totaled. which I still don't think I ever got like my deductible back, even though it should have been the other person's fault. The state police said it was the other person's fault, everything like that. But basically, I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy 2 cars. I was already in the process of buying a truck. I'm going to buy the truck with the money I get from insurance, and then I'll figure out a used car down the road. And I looked at a Celica, and then it was like, it was way too much. They were asking for like, you know, a 2002 Celica for like $6,000-$7,000, you know, and you're like, because they hold their value pretty well if you don't burn your miles up. Like mine, I think we got for 4,000 or 5,000. This was in 2000, I want to say 11. So his car was only 10 years old, had like 70,000 miles or something. We got it for like 4,000 or 5,000. But now they're looking for like one that's same amount of miles, but 10 years older. And I'm going to have to pay an extra $2,000-$3,000. I'm like, nah, I'll wait and figure something else out. But they are fun. I took it for a test drive. I'm like, I'm taking this for a test drive. Bring back old memories.
They are fun little cars.
They're fun.
I do have a question for Casper, and then I have a question for everyone. Okay, so everyone calls it something different, but I rarely used my clutch in all my manual vehicles. Rarely. Like I was taking off and going. Like, and then converting to a CDL later in life, I think it helped me. You know, because like in a big truck, you just really don't. But like, I always found it to be, you know, it was cool. You know, I never touched my clutch, but like, that was something that I just always did, and it probably comes from watching my dad drive. You know, he always had manual trucks for the most part, and you know, I never seen him ever touch that clutch. And you know, just growing up, I never really did that much. Did you ever find yourself just doing it for the fun of it, or did you ever just like always use your clutch?
In my personal vehicles, I mostly use my clutch, just during normal driving. But if I was really trying to run it, I would just slam them. Just slam them.
I mean, you know, Hoy just said not using your clutch is hard on your, you know, synchros or whatever, but synchros, but like,
if you get it the right timing,
I was always the one repair. Yeah, and that's true. That's why they're there. And as long as you're not clutching, you know, clunking and if you listen to your car, it listens to you. You know.
You know, like, Hoy, you know Hoy from his episode. He's the big car guy.
Oh yes, he is 100%. And so now my next question, I think I already forgot it. Son of a bitch.
I mean, that would be hard to remember. You were like
Hoy got me off track.
You were like down.
I was. Fuck.
You want to think about it?
This one was for everybody.
Yeah, it was for everybody. Do you want to think about it?
Fuck.
Think about it, because my question is actually back to Casper's name.
No, go for it.
And think about it.
No, I'll remember eventually.
So Casper, how did you get Casper Gaming, Trevor?
So I have been Casper for ever. Hard to tell in this lighting, but most lighting you can't tell where my shirt ends and my skin begins. I am extra white, so it's been one of those things that it just stuck with me. Somebody was like, I took my shirt off somewhere, and somebody was like, oh my god, you're as white as a ghost, like Casper, and it just stuck.
Yeah.
And I've used that nickname for everything. I was in a car club when I was younger, had a white car. My car was, you know, Casper. I was Casper. And then all of a sudden it transitioned to gaming. When I first got my Xbox and it asked for gamer tag, boom, Casper. That was it.
Nice.
It stuck. So it's been quite literally, you know, through my life.
Nice.
Vini Vidi Vici.
Yep.
Is that what you're waiting for? You're just waiting for that?
No, I was waiting to say it sometime during this episode. I was watching a documentary on Julius Caesar, and they said that the other night. And I was like, Caesar needs this in his life.
Yeah.
Because like I was reading the subtitles and it explained it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, he needs this.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's fun. When people ask me if it's really about the Roman Empire, though, I always have to turn it down and say, no, this is just my last name. It's this empire, not the actual Roman Empire that like did all the shitty things, you know. Like I'm not in there. I'm not doing that. But you know, different type.
Right.
Did you think about what the your other question was?
No, Hoy asked, you know, if you get your CDL back, you know, when you start driving again, or do I have to retake my whole test? Well, my CDL test was during all my seizures, so like I had to let it lapse, so I will have to go through the whole process again.
Yeah.
But that's to say I even get it back, you know, because
Right.
like I'm not going back to my old job. I can't fucking drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only
And
thing you can
yeah.
retain is your chauffeurs. You can't retain CDL without the tests.
yeah, I mean I didn't know that, but I do know I can't. And even having a history of seizures, I don't know if I can even apply for my CDL again. You know, CDLs are extremely sensitive.
Yeah, but you can. It just with most DOTs, you have to have your DOT card, and you have to like prove a certain length of time without any type of. Because I had to do the same thing with towing. Every year I had to go in and take physicals, and you had to prove health basically, and they go back through a couple years of your health records, and as long as those couple years of health records are good, then you were pretty well cleared.
Yeah, because I'm sure I could pass a physical, but like I don't think my history of seizures right now, even at 6 months clean, you know, I have to go through like a whole.
It's like a couple years though.
Yeah, and right now my doctors aren't talking to the state, so if my license goes up in this year sometime, I forget what month, but I have to renew my driver's license, and when they ask me, you know, like all them health questions that they ask you, you know, are you blind, are you this, are you know any of the health questions, I'm just going to say no across the board just so I don't have to retake my test, because you know in the state of Illinois you don't have to retake the test until you're like 40 something, so like no big deal, I can just hold it, you know.
You have to retake a test?
I was gonna say ours just every 4 years we just renew.
No, so it's every 5 here in Illinois, and then towards it's like 40 or 42, you have to retake not the driving portion, the actual paper version or the computer version, and then it's every 10 years after that, and then once you hit like 55, you have to do both written and driving.
Man, you must have some safe drivers out there in Illinois.
No, we have some of the most horrible drivers I've ever seen.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know any of that for Pennsylvania.
Dude, and to have your, you know, any of your CDLs for Illinois, oh my God, it sucks. You not only have to have your physical, I think it's like every 10 you have to go for like an on-the-spot driving exam. It's the most fucked up shit I've ever seen. Because when I was living in Ohio, I only had to worry about renewing every 10 years.
Yeah, I have a couple people that have been telling me in my chat the last few days, they've been telling me that they're coming up on taking their driver's test, and they're nervous about it. So I don't envy them. I try to talk confidence into them that, like, you know, the instructor's not trying to fail you. They're just trying to make sure that you know what you're doing. So you just stay calm and collected no matter what happens. Like I hit the
turn
curb.
signals.
Yeah, use your turn signals. Don't forget the turn signals.
No texting and driving.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I bumped the curb when I was doing parallel parking, but he's just like, you know, just don't go up on it. So I pulled back out a little bit and back in. It's fine, you know, because there's no way. I mean, if you parallel park now, I'm pretty good, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't think I would be this good anymore. Like if I don't have the rear view camera at this point, you know, like when I was taking tests, I didn't have rear view camera, and I think I would hit the curb 95% of the time with a car without a rear view camera.
Dude, this generation is so spoiled with the Teslas and the auto parallel, and like, dude, like when I got my new Colorado from work, it parallel parked itself.
Yeah.
And like I didn't have to do anything. And like knowing that that's the way this like the future is going to be, driving is going to be shit.
I guess what I mean by like bumping the curb with parallel parking is I always want to be super close to the curb, right? So I'm not getting clipped on the outside. So I'm like, if I bump the curb with my tire, big whoop, in my opinion. I'd rather bump the curb and know that I'm against the curb than not. I don't know. Dustin said he didn't have to parallel in a car. Guess he's lucky. I don't know.
Dustin does. So wait, isn't
actually,
Dustin the only driver in his household?
Yeah, he does pick up his wife every day, so probably. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. Years ago, this is probably like 5-6 years ago now, I had a conversation with a coworker about self-driving cars, right? And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like my stance on that conversation was I wanted kind of what you're going through right now, Trevor, with teaching your son. Like I wanted to go through that life experience with my children, right? I wanted to teach them how to drive, or at least go through that as a pretty monumental thing in somebody's life, right? Like, you know, there's a lot, but that's one of them. And self-driving cars, when you talk about it, it's like, okay, what does that mean? You know, like, let's just say the whole world is self-driving cars and there's, you know, no more people driving cars. Like, that just doesn't exist anymore, you know?
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I've always dreamt of having the car that you could go to sleep and get to where you need to go when you're going long distances, for sure.
It would be nice.
Wait, isn't Pennsylvania one of the like harshest states on like self-driving cars?
I don't pay attention. You will never see me owning a self-driving car until
I won't either.
Until it's mandatory or something, right? Like that's when it will happen, or when like I'm paying astronomical amounts. When I'm paying astronomical insurance because I want to drive myself, then you'll see me get a self-driving car. I was shopping for a car for my wife last year. We were going to upgrade her Kia Soul to like a 3-row seat vehicle, and ended up we ended up with a Kia Sorento, but we did look into the Telluride. That was like one of the, you know, it's number one SUV last year or whatever, right? It was new. And when I talked to the guy over the phone about the Telluride, you know, before we went to test drive it, he was telling me about how it drives itself. Like you can get on a highway and, you know, put it on autopilot and it will drive itself. I was like, so what do you mean by that? Do you mean like I will be able to go to sleep? And he's like, no, you should keep your hands on the wheel. I'm like, because I started to think like, with the way some roads are, you know, construction points and, you know, paint being faded and all that stuff, I really don't understand how a self-driving car is going to operate perfectly.
No, nice guy's right. Even in the Tesla, it's every like 15, 18 minutes, you have to bump the wheel or else it'll pull you over.
Yeah, but my thing is like, so you think about a plane that has autopilot, right? Like you're in an airspace, you can go. I think about like a train that's on a train track. I could see that being an autopilot type deal because you have something that's tracking you, right? But I have a hard time believing that until there's some type of microchip in the roads.
Oh yeah, like lane keepers.
Something that kept a lane, you know, something other than just the paint that the car is looking at, right? Because they do have the cameras that are looking. Like I have lane assist that tells me how you're going out or whatever. But like the thing that's actually going to keep you on that train track and then be able to, you know, hey, there's construction here. There's a construction here, and it just turns what? What about Tokyo?
So I know it's somewhere over there. It's either Tokyo or it's somewhere over there that has they're already making the mainstream highways. Like they're already putting that technology in their roads.
That'd be pretty cool to have.
Cars are talking to it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But that's the only way I would feel safe.
Experimenting with it there.
And when I say safe, I use that term lightly because I still don't know that I would feel safe because you're still trusting something that. So just hey, I work in software development for a finance company, and no matter how well we do things, I still see issues and still see errors happen, right? And I think we got in this conversation with DVD Player Black, right? About the technology that's in hospitals, right? The technology that are in hospitals, it seems so old. Like when you go into a hospital, you're like, why does this technology seem so old? And it's because it has to be proven, like, because it's, you know, life critical things, right? So it has to be. So I don't know when I would be able to trust a car. Like I feel like the only way I would trust a car is if there was like a track that you hooked up to stay on or something. I don't know. I don't know how we got on car topics, but I like it. I think it's just
Tokyo. There is over 900 kilometers. That doesn't sound like a lot. Isn't that like that's only like what? 900,000 feet?
I'm not sure. I'm sure it's not a lot yet.
That doesn't sound like a lot for an automobile.
Dustin said like a roller coaster, and that's basically what I'm describing, right? People don't think twice about getting on a roller coaster, but that roller coaster is hooked up to, you know, a track, right? but there's nobody driving it, right? There's no pilot.
No,
It's
but
just
it
on the
has
track.
an entire system.
It's on the track. Yeah,
keeps
yeah. It's on the track.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a lot of safety measures incorporated in that, and to think that our driving ability may be that way in the future astounds me.
So for those anybody, so you're in Michigan, you're in Detroit, right? Yeah. For anybody who's, you go to amusement parks. There's one in Pittsburgh, called Kennywood. I think it has one of the oldest. Is Hoy? If Hoy's still in the chat, I feel like it's one of the oldest.
Talking like he's 95 years old. That's Hoy.
Hoy probably knows like the stat. I feel like it's one of the oldest, or maybe the only wooden roller coaster still, or something like that, right? One of them. But it's funny. There is a roller coaster there called the Jackrabbit, and when you're on that one, you leave the track because there's like a double bunny hop kind of thing, and like the train, like the roller coaster comes off the track, and it's like it's pretty scary. It's like you're going over these things, it's just like
no chance
comes off. Come on, you don't like live a little. Well, all right, I got a question for us all. What is the most life-threatening thing you've done, you would say? I would put skydiving in there, right? I would put skydiving in there, right? Like that kind of thing is what I'm, anything like that, or.
So, life-threatening things that you've done or that have happened to you, because that's two
good question.
Like,
let's say that you've chose to do yourself.
Okay.
Go ahead, Black.
I got to think about this for a minute because I can't say brain surgery.
So with me, so I obviously I work for Costco, but I'm in the tires. So I do I manage a tire shop, and they put me on all kinds of cars and all kinds of tires. And once I had the opportunity to go down to Michelin headquarters in South Carolina and test out every single tire on every single one of their tracks, and then at the end of it, we had the choice to get in a professional driven race car with a guy, and he was going to put their Michelin tires to the test in this car. And I said, let's go. Probably about 14 seconds in, I questioned my decision. When the car ripped off and we were at almost 200 miles an hour right away, and I am focused on the road ahead of me, and all of a sudden he hits this embanked turn and the tires start screeching, and I'm grabbing at anything I can to hold on. I think I peed a little. I'm not gonna lie. It was probably the scariest thing that I've ever done. The most exhilarating thing that I've ever done.
Would you do it again?
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Hell no.
No. After we got back, so we did 2 laps. It was all of like 48 seconds, I think, and it was just sheer terror for all of that minute.
Damn. That sounds awesome, though. I mean, I'm sure it was scary.
It's an experience.
You didn't have control either, right? It's the other person driving, so
correct. Yeah. And so that was one of those things that I'm glad I did it because I had that experience, but at the same time, I wouldn't do it again. Not a chance. And no, yeah.
Yeah. Black, did you think of one?
So like, I think I have, I don't know. Like I've done a lot like water-based stuff. Like I've jumped off bridges that I should not have jumped off of, not knowing how deep the water is. I want to say that was probably some of the most like exhilarating stuff I ever did, like for like an adrenaline rush. But like, I want to say like the most scary moment in my life. I was at work, and it's either one of 2 events. I was cleaning out like a full-blown pin mixer, and I had just pulled my hands out to wipe my sweat, and someone turned on the mixer. I had forgot to lock it out. I remember
you saying that, yeah, telling that story.
Scared the shit out of me. Like if someone would have done that while my hands were there, I would have died.
Yeah, you would have just been pulled in.
Yeah, but like another one was I trusted someone else's judgment, I said, hey, I was on top of a pneumatic tanker, which is just like, it's like a truck that you haul either food grain or like sugar or whatever in, or ash or whatever. And I had asked him, I said, hey, did you relieve all the pressure off this tank? And he was like, yeah. Just put his hand out the window and he's like, yeah. And as I went to open it, it popped and it blew me against the fucking the gantry, which is like just a mechanism that goes down so you can walk across, get on top of the truck. And dude, it shredded my arm. That's why I was looking at my arm earlier. I was like thinking about it. It was either one of those. Because like the adrenaline rush was fun with the bridges, but those other two were the scariest moments in my life.
Yeah, see, that goes along with the scariest thing that happened to you, which with mine, I was on a flight back from Atlanta to Detroit, and we were coming over the mountains, and I was in the window seat. And if you've ever been on an airplane, they hit air pockets and they'll dip. Well, this one hit an air pocket and it dipped so fast and so hard. I start seeing mountains and clouds coming through, and the masks dropped. Everybody on the plane lost their mind except for this 80-year-old lady that's sitting next to me reading a book, just not caring.
That's fine.
Right. And me,
Jesus,
as I was 18 coming back from spring break. That was my layover, was in Atlanta, and I grabbed onto this old lady's arm like she was my mother, and I just buried my head into her shoulder. I thought it was over. I thought that was it. And she just, whatever. I felt so bad for grasping her arm so hard. I carried her luggage to her car for her when we got back to the airport.
I got you, honey.
But yeah, it was insane because everybody.
You still talk to her to this day?
No,
That reminds me of that fucking story where the guy accidentally texted his grandma, or he thought he was texting his grandma, and it ended up being someone else's grandma. And now they have Thanksgiving every week or every year.
It's amazing.
Mine's gonna go to the water. It was on my honeymoon. I went to St. Lucia with my wife. And
wait, what's St. Lucia? Where's that at?
It's a Caribbean island. St. Lucia is like a Caribbean island. We went and stayed at a Sandals resort there. They had like 3 of them, but we stayed on like the honeymoon one or the couples one. What?
That's where Kenny's at right now.
Kenny's where? In St. Lucia?
At a Sandals resort in Jamaica.
In Jamaica,
that's
yeah.
Funny.
Sandals are, yeah.
That's cool though.
I mean, the ones in Jamaica. I mean, there's multiple probably, but they have the ones that have bungalows over the water now too.
Oh, that's cool.
In Jamaica.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're fine. I always thought those would be cool to be at, but we didn't do much outside of like the resort. The resort was all inclusive, and it's not, a lot of those countries, right, that have the resorts are not like, hey, go explore, right? If you want to go explore, you're going to like Greece or Paris or something like that. You go to a Caribbean, you're pretty much going to stay on your resort. There's not much outside of the resort. And most of the people who live on the island, work at the resort because like that's where the income comes in, right? But anyway, we went on one boat tour and it was great. I remember it was like our first or second day there, probably our first day there. We go down on the beach and there's this guy walking around, trying to get people to go on these tours. They do zip line, they do all these different things. It was like a boat tour. And I never forget, the guy was awesome. He went by Hot Chocolate. He wasn't a member of the resort, right? And it's because it's a public beach and they can just walk around and try to sell you to go on things. And obviously the resort has their own crews and they want you to go through them. So I guess they can kick them off in some sense or get mad at them or whatever. But I talked to this guy, he wants to sign us up, and so we signed him up, and he said we were going on a boat with King Julian. That was who was gonna take us on this boat.
From Madagascar.
Yeah, I guess, right? His name must have been Julian, but like, yeah. So I mean, he did it up. He's talking to me. He's showing us these pictures, and it's like if you've ever gone to any of those resorts, because I did it one other time with my wife and a couple friends. We went on like a couples retreat when we were all dating, and they try to sell you on it, and it can get annoying if you don't know how to say no. Like because they're just gonna try to sell you on it. It's like a car salesman. You go in the lot, somebody's gonna come over and ask you if you want a car and try to get you a test drive. But you know, he's walking me through, and it's like, okay, you know, we're gonna do it, and so he starts to tell me that like, you're gonna go here, you're gonna go here, you're gonna do all this stuff, and at the end you're gonna go to this. I guess I don't know whether it's true or not. I'm guessing it is. I guess Pirates of the Caribbean. One of them was shot at this like love tunnel, right? It's like this.
That's pretty dope.
Tunnel through this big rock, right, where you can see through it or whatever. And he said if you're lucky, you know, and you don't drink too much while on the boat, you know, they'll let you jump off of it, right? 20 some feet, 25 feet up in the air or whatever. And so
this picture you sauced as fuck.
So we go on this boat, we get on this boat, and me and my wife get on, and this other couple who was on their like 1 year anniversary type of honeymoon. The woman, the girl is pregnant. They live down in Texas. She's pregnant. They're on this, boat. Me and this guy, and there's a couple other couples on it, but these guys are like a couple years younger than us. But we're hanging out. I'm taking these little. They got the rum punch and all these different things, and I'm trying to ask the guy. First thing I asked him when I got on the boat is, how much can I drink that you'll still let me to jump off this thing, right? I wanted to make sure I made it known that I want to jump off this thing, but I needed to have a little bit in me, because if I didn't have a little bit in me, there's no way my balls were jumping off of fucking anything, let alone into a water, ocean, right? I'm not a fan of sharks, right? Like, I'm like, no, thank you.
Of course.
Well, I mean, some people are like, they'll go surf.
Should be.
Well, I'm saying some people go surf and they're like, whatever, but I am like, okay, here's my best thing. When I get in the ocean, like I'll go Myrtle Beach or something like that down Carolinas, I'm a duck on the water. I look calm above, but my feet are literally like churning underneath there. I'm like moving my feet, like, don't touch me, nothing get away from me, whatever. But anyway.
That makes it worse,
probably,
that, right?
Probably. I'm trying to get the fish away from me, not the sharks,
The more you look like a seal, the worse off you are.
Yeah. So anyway, we get to this thing at the end of our, trip, and it's like, okay, we're here, and we pull up, and there's all these local kids, 18, 16, 14, all doing backflips off this thing, 30 some feet. They're just doing backflips into this water. They swim up to the boat, and, and they're like, you guys want to go? And me and this kid who both have been drinking a little bit, like, let's do it. So go up there, bare feet, climbing up this rock. That was probably the worst part, was climbing up the rocks bare feet.
Yeah.
And so I have a video of it. Just jumped off of it. I was like, and when you get up there, the water's so clear in the Caribbean, you can see these boulders underneath the water.
Oh, you don't know how deep they are?
Yeah. You look down, I'm like, and I'm like, we're looking, I'm talking, and these kids, like I said, they're young. And they're they're hyping you up. They want a tip, so we give them money at the end, right, for helping us out. But it was just, I remember looking at him like, where do we jump? It's like, well, just make sure you jump there, And I'm like, oh, this is real.
In there.
So that was 100% the scariest thing. And to Casper, like, would I do it again? Right. Only if I had the booze again. Only if I had the booze again is the only way I'm going to do that dumb shit. I'm telling you, if I was sober or, didn't have that little bit of a buzz, there's no way I was jumping off that rock. Right. And a buddy of mine who got married a year later was going to the same resort. And I told him, I was like, look, my other friends who went, we met down there, they went with a different boat crew, did not get allowed to go off, right? All they could do is swim around. They were not allowed to go off. So I told him, hey, you want to go off, jump off? He's like, yeah, I want to jump off. And I was like, okay, go onto the beach and make sure you find hot chocolate. You need to sign up. You find hot chocolate, ask for hot chocolate. You need to.
Motherfuckers walking around on that beach. Hey, you know how to get some hot chocolate?
you need to
go find hot chocolate.
You need to find hot chocolate, get on the toy boats and get on with King Julian. And so he does. I talked to him about it. He did. But apparently somebody died a couple weeks before or something from it, so they're not allowed to have people jump in anymore.
No more hot chocolate.
Now, whether that was a true story that they told him or just like they're not going to let him do it, a different story, but yeah.
Jesus.
Anyway.
Go find hot chocolate.
Remember, Chase, jump in this area.
Oh my God. It was...
Maybe.
Look, your thing with the bridge, I'm guessing you're jumping in a river. Those things. They're usually green, brown,
shit.
like you can't see anything. Caribbean, blue. And you look down and you're like, oh shit, there is a giant rock Like, it's not how deep it is. You can see it. So you know that that's higher than everything else. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
But it was,
see the
oh
rock.
my
Oh
God.
yeah, you
see the
never know if you were
sharks.
jumping on like an abandoned car that someone wanted to get rid of,
Yeah,
or
right,
like
right.
it's just-
Right.
you never knew.
But it was, oh my God. It's like, it was so much fun. So glad I did it. Will I ever have the chance to do it again? Probably not.
No, hot chocolate won't
But-
let you again.
Dude, they wanted to, the one guy, they wanted to buy
goes
my
by
hat.
Swiss. He goes by
Somebody-
Swiss Miss now.
Somebody, yeah, right. Somebody wanted to buy my hat, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I can't, you know. They wanted to buy it on like my last day before I went back. I probably could have gave it to him, or maybe he didn't want to buy it. I said I'd give it to him, but then I needed to get one. I had a great honeymoon. My wife probably won't say the same thing, but I had a great honeymoon. It was fantastic.
It's fucking hilarious, bro.
Yeah. If I get to go back somewhere, I probably will go back to that place. It was only my second time out of the country, but it was way better than my first time. My first time I had a panic attack.
I just walk over and be like, "Hey, hot chocolate, you remember me? I didn't die."
Yeah, I didn't die. Oh, I saw him the rest of that trip because that was like on the third day we went on that boat tour. So I went and talked to him. I was telling other people to go see Hot Chocolate when I was there. He was like,
I
Bring him some marshmallows.
I'm telling you, I'm like, you need to go down and talk to Hot Chocolate, you know? I'm
He's your hookup.
I'm very charismatic. I like getting down there and talking to people, you know?
I am too when I'm sauced.
It's all, like I said, it was all inclusive, okay? It was all
That's
inclusive.
awesome.
It was an all-inclusive
Go
resort.
talk to hot chocolate, bro. I can see you standing in the lobby. Hot chocolate's got the shit, bro.
I mean, the other boat tour, the one that the resort ran, was all by the books, so you don't want to get on that one. You want the one where it was like we got to eat at somebody's uncle's bar or whatever, compared to somebody else who got like something else. Like it was like, you know, home cooked meal that they had, which I didn't really care for because I don't like exotic food.
You don't know if they wore gloves.
Yeah,
they weren't mac and cheese and chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was definitely not frozen. I'm pretty sure this was killed an hour ago.
Yeah. No, that was
It's
a
like
great
walking
little
through
trip.
like Chinatown. You want chicken? You want chicken? Chicken?
You just kill it. Yeah.
Right.
God damn.
Oh my god.
Did you think, was that the question you wanted to ask earlier? Or no,
What?
that was my question. Did you think of your question?
Nah.
It's gone. Lost forever.
My memory's so bad.
Hey, at least you can remember how excited you were about driving your dad's truck for the first time. Okay?
It's true.
Dude, I'll never forget that. I hope I never forget that. I felt like a king. Thing was huge compared to me at the time.
Let me circle back a little bit. I'm not on Facebook for watching streams that much, to be honest, other than, you know, Black Goes Live. I get the notification 20 times a day, I think.
Yeah.
It's like
However many times
Black Hack
I'm
is
live,
No.
every
I get
45
Black
minutes.
Hack is live, and then, you know,
Black
you know,
Hack
I
is
can,
still live.
Yep.
Still live.
And then hold on, Black Hack was live. Like,
Yep.
okay, I get it, Facebook. I understand.
I like it for that. I know every 45 minutes I'm gonna have a new viewer. I know that. So like I always try to make it interesting at every 45-minute mark. You know, like I know more people are getting that
You
notification.
should probably make it interesting the whole time.
Well, like I always try to be in the middle of a
There you
conversation
go.
when it's happening. You
Sure.
know, you gotta hook them.
Mhm.
You know.
Hook, line, and sinker. When you get on that fish, when you get on that pond, you'll be good.
I
You'll
don't
hook
know
them.
about the sinking part. You know, they might drown.
I said hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, I know. The sinker's meant to hold them down.
Good.
I don't want them to stay down very much. You know, I want to keep them talking.
So my question was going to be, how often are you streaming?
It's better than
Casper?
getting Caesar shitty emails.
Who's saying that? Who's saying that? First
Who
of all,
the fuck do you think?
Hoy.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, Hoy? I can no longer do that because Twitch took away that functionality. So I no longer send the emails.
Wait, they did?
You know the ones where you could send emails to your subscribers?
To your subscribers.
They took that away. And thank God, because...
Is that why I get an email every time I'm live on Twitch? I get an email now.
Maybe that's... No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, every time I go live on Twitch, I get an email. And anytime it's like, hey, Black Hacks Live.
Maybe that's what he's referring to. I didn't know that. It doesn't happen for me.
It was very weird.
But they took away the email to subscribers, which kind of pissed me off because I didn't abuse it. They're trying to look into something. I don't know. I liked sending it at the end of the month to tell people like, thank you or whatever, right?
Wasn't there a streamer that specifically sent out those emails to give him a heads up as to what he was doing? I think you and I were talking about that.
So
it was like a story he told.
That is the only reason I am glad they took away the emails, because somebody gifted me a sub to this guy's channel and he literally posted every time he was going live. And I'm like, I don't need an email every time you go live. I can turn on notifications for that.
Yeah, but this guy's like whole niche.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this guy's like whole niche was making up stories that he told on stream. And in order for them to make sense, you had to be a subscriber to get that email.
Well, so I don't think that was the guy. The guy that I was getting emails about he was going live. And I'm like, please stop sending me these emails.
Yeah, and then he moved to Facebook.
I don't think this guy did. So it must have been a different guy. Is it you? Did you do it? Is that your whole joke? You weren't doing it that much. You were doing it toward the end of your Twitch career.
Yeah, because it was more or less to promote the giveaways.
Yeah.
And now Facebook does a good enough job of that I don't have to have an extra feature to do that.
Anyway, I like sending it out at the end of the month as a thank you to people who are subscribing.
That's nice.
Not a daily notification to subscribers, but whatever. My question was actually to Casper around how often are you streaming and whatnot?
Pretty much daily.
Yeah.
I don't think it's maybe once a week. I might miss a day, but I'm usually 3 to 5 hours a night.
Nice.
I'm late night streamer because of work. I get up, get the kids ready for school, and then I'm get myself ready for work, and I'm out the door, and then I'm back home usually around 10 o'clock at night, and then right on the game until 1 in the morning sometimes.
But it sounds like you're up pretty early. How many hours of sleep are you getting? You sound like you're You sound like you're in my boat.
Yeah, I 4 or 5 hours, maybe.
Yeah,
if I'm lucky.
I mean, I'm not working till 10, but I'm saying like the going to sleep at 1 o'clock and waking up and getting going.
Yep, I'm my first alarm goes off at 6:45 in the morning. Damn. And that's to get everybody running, getting everybody going, and then I work pretty far from home currently, and then so I got a decent, I'm 2.5 hours in the car a day.
Yeah.
So, and then my 9.5 hour shift on top of that. So my days are pretty full. And by the time I get home, 10 o'clock, straight downstairs to the computer and turn everything on.
Nice. So what are you fueling by? Got some G Fuel running in the blood or coffee? What do you got going on? Glitch? There we go.
Yep. That's my go-to.
I was gonna say the people who are working doing the 4 or 5 hours of sleep and then streaming comfortably, happily, and a couple hours a night every night, definitely have something pumping through it.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, it's I'm used to it because so my wife she works early morning, so she's up and out the door at 3 to 4 a.m. every day. It's been in our entire marriage that she's up that way, and so when it came to the kids getting up in the middle of the night, that was all me. I was the one up in the middle of the night with the kids, changing the diapers, doing the feedings and stuff like that. Early on with kids, I learned it was easier to stay awake than it was to wake up. So that's my body got used to it, and then so I've just got to a point where I that's how I run. I don't really need that kind of sleep anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not healthy, I'm sure, but
I try to tell my wife all the time, because my wife's like the opposite of me when it comes to sleeping. she's a light sleeper. I'm a heavy sleeper, and I'm right there with you. It is so much easier to stay awake than it is to wake up. Like I try to tell her every morning. She's so pissed at me every morning because I mean she's up for hours with my son in the morning, and I'm still asleep. And she's pissed at me, and rightfully so. But when she wakes me up and like I might be a little agitated first thing, like I try to tell her all the time, just kind of come at me as peaceful as possible until my body and mind processes that I'm now awake. Because it's just like I'm like until I get to that moment, I've always been like that my entire life. And
days off, my wife will wake me up with a Kit Kat and a Monster or something as peace offering.
let me ask you, is there anything?
What else you want to break?
Yeah, right. Let me ask you. I'm thinking of something specific, right? Like there are moments or things that are happening in life that can get me out of bed quickly. Right? Like first day of school every year when I was going to, school, it was like, hey, gonna go see the friends, haven't seen, it's first day of school. Or nowadays it's like if I'm going to golf somewhere, first thing in the morning, it's like that can get me out of bed and I'm pumped. Not if I do it every day, but that first couple times or whatever, it's exciting. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, whether it's
a Detroit Lions
golfing.
Game?
Yeah, the Lions game. Back when I was able to golf, I would golf, or if like hunting, anything like that, something that I know I'm pumped for to get out of the house. That's what it is. Same thing.
So what kind of hunting did you do?
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Deer, rabbit, geese, duck, you name it.
Nice. That's how I grew up too, but it's been some years. I think we talked about that Black a few streams ago on this. That's how it was with me too. A lot of geese hunting. We had a lab and it was always fun, but cool. Why are you saying Discord can you give me a quick answer? Oh, okay. You're looking for him. Is he not in your stream too?
I don't know. I have stream delay enabled.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, ever since I put fb.gg in my clan tag, I enabled like a 15-second stream delay. So,
don't you want people there?
Yeah.
Oh, you want them to see themselves getting killed?
Yeah, 100%.
That's fucking toxic, bro.
I've had it. No, it happened today.
It's so toxic, bro.
I freaking destroyed someone today.
It's like that TTVer yesterday. Even though he didn't actually kill me, he was just getting rebooted on the bus. What's up, Will? Let's go on DVD. DVD just popped in.
What's up, Will? What's up?
Oh my God, Manny's in here too.
Manny.
Still talking his craziness.
I think Manny was in my stream earlier.
Dude, Manny.
Yeah, he's still talking his craziness, bro.
He straight up just said the same shit in my chat.
No, he's been talking that craziness for 2 days straight.
I think he's just hyped up that he won the gaming laptop. That's it.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I'd be hyped up.
Good. That's good.
I'd be hyped up that I won the Go XR if it ever got here.
Dude, I paid for priority, and the fact that you didn't get it Thursday pissed me off.
Yo, let me just say,
I paid extra money and everybody. It's still not there.
Let me just say, this thing is awesome. It just kind of like a nice paperweight. It's a paper. It's a very good paperweight. It holds it can hold a lot of paper down. Let me tell you. Have some fun with
Hoy just said, "Don't knock it till you try it."
Oh my God. Only thing I win is hats. I know. DVD. Oh man. Well, this was a lot of fun, Trevor. Thank you so much. We're coming up on.
Don't do it, DVD.
What are you doing?
He's gonna throw away his money, and I know I'm using one, but dude, don't do it. It's such a waste. Mine was gifted to me. I did not pay $400 for this.
Listen. There are things that make people happy, and if spending money on something is something that makes somebody happy, you let them do it.
Agreed. You're talking to someone that has everything he ever wanted in a PC setup.
Well, actually, so I was taking us down the path of wrapping up because we are approaching 2 hours, but we still have some time. And I just based on that question alone, I haven't asked Casper this. What are you playing on, Casper? I'm assuming you're on PC, no longer Xbox. You're streaming, but like,
Correct.
Like what kind of specs do you like going? Like, what are you, team Intel? Are you team AMD? Like, what are you?
I am the team tech noob.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been on this PC. I bought a pre-built.
Yeah, me too.
Because my so I was on Xbox for a long time. My Xbox kind of died. One of my employees just happened to have a spare PS4, so he gave me his PS4. I was running on that for a while, and then right around mid-November, it died. I could not find a system to save my life that wasn't $1,000. And he was like, if you're gonna spend $1,000 on a system,
get a PC.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I was like, fine. And so I bought this PC from work, and it just kind of worked out.
How you liking the Switch?
It's nice actually.
FLV, baby.
100%. There's so many more switching from console to PC. It's such a difference, and I tell everybody that I play with on the regular is on console, barring one of the streamers that I play with. Everybody else is on console, and they just don't understand the difference. You know, when I'm in pregame lobby and already sweating 4 kills with a helicopter, just having fun. They haven't even loaded in yet, and it's like that's a huge. It's like such a huge difference. It's such a huge difference.
It's wild. You know, Fortnite's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
DVD player made the joke that your team. What is the CPU? So to be honest with you, I'm
100%.
Listen, I'm glad you say it, right? Because like I'm a software engineer. I am not a hardware guy. I understand the parts of a computer for a hardware piece, but I do not understand the specs of that hardware, right? Like what's better and what's not. Like I'd have to read review after review. I did a pre-build as well. I did mine from like an Amazon, deal on Amazon Cyber Monday or whatever. It's ups and downs. Like I kind of wish when I do something, hopefully in a year or two, I think my plan is to either probably build it myself if I can manage to get the parts, just to learn the things that are critical and important, right? Really, really do it. But I was right there with you. That first one, it's just like, get me something that works.
Yeah, that's all this was. It was just something that worked, so I could keep jamming, because I was I think it was the second week without Warzone, and I was dying. I was itching. I was like, somebody give me a console.
Yeah, I was PS4 the whole way, and that's how I started streaming, was through my PS4.
Xbox, baby.
You know what? Look, as much as people
we were actually like reminiscing the other night on my stream, like showing how I started to where I am now, and it was wild.
Yeah.
Like the upgrades, like to where I was to where I am, and it was over the course of 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, when I first started, it was a fucking TV, laptop, and an Xbox.
Yeah, but we talked about it before too, and
cool.
Kenny experienced it when he switched to the badass PC he got, right?
Yeah.
You don't realize the headache of having a PC until you have the PC.
I know.
You know, the PS4, the Xbox, you turn that power button on, you are up. You link your Twitch and or whatever, and you're streaming, you're on it, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
When it comes
Super
to the
simple.
PC, it's like, nope.
Updates,
you got to do all these things, right?
In the beginning, Kenny was extremely frustrated, and I would stay on with him, calming him down. But like,
I'm beyond frustrated.
It is.
I don't even have an answer anymore.
It's frustrating.
I don't have an answer. I'm
42%. Oh my god! Sorry, that's bullshit, Dustin. Sorry.
We have no idea what you're talking about. That was like Along Came Polly when he yells out like 50 some or whatever when they're, you guys ever see Along Came Polly?
So,
did I just screw myself? Do you guys watch Along Came Polly with Ben Stiller and Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah, long time ago.
When he's having sex with her and he's trying to make it like a minute and he gets to like 57 or something and he screams it out. you know, and she's like, yay, 57 or whatever, right? That's just what you reminded me of. So
No, I guess
you
going
just
over
ejaculated is what I meant.
No, I was going over like revenue on Twitch.
Okay.
And I noticed that a gifted sub was lower than my paid subs. And then I wanted to know the percentage of that. And the streamer is only getting 42% of a gifted sub.
That's funny.
On Facebook?
No.
Oh.
Facebook's, we already know.
Yeah,
Facebook
I'm like, what?
No, I just noticed that my revenue was lower than normal, and it pissed me off, and I wanted to know what it was, and Nice Guy did the math for me. It's 42% of the gifted sub is all the streamer sees. Stop gifting subs. Like, you see 40%.
Well, no,
or
so
you see 60%.
Sorry. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm going to stop you.
Right. Yeah, you do you.
Gifted subs are not meant for the streamer to make money, because if the idea of somebody wanting you to make money, they would send you bits. They would send you bits. Okay?
Oh,
the idea of gifted subs is not for the streamer to make money, and everybody knows that. Should know that. You should know that. Yeah. If you are gifting subs, you are not gifting them money. You are gifting them a community. You are trying to pull in more of their followers, or if it goes outside of their followers, you are trying to get people to join the community. That is the point of a gifted sub. The point of, if you want them to make money, either send them a donation or send them bits.
Oh, agreed.
Because you're getting the full revenue at that point. You're not, they're getting whatever number of bits you send. So that's you're welcome for all the bits, old geezer. Thank you, Chaos. I say that because Chaos is the one. Chaos was the one who was like sending me bits, and he's like, he would constantly send me bits and not do gifted subs, and he's like, because he streams and he knows, and he's like, you get the money for the bits, so I'm gonna give you the bits. I'm gonna do that. But what backfired? Well, not backfired for him, but he did the bits. So, real quick, because Casper probably doesn't know this about my stream, I have a Caesar hat that I do a hat. Basically came up because I wanted a hat for myself to wear, and it was cheaper to get multiple than it was to just get one, right? Mm-hmm. So I ended up getting them, and I'm like, you know what? Let's do this through sub goals, right? We meet a sub goal, we'll give out a hat. Well, at the beginning of the month, he just lost to DVD Player. And he just lost, and he's like, I want to get in this next entry, and I have a thing where you can either do a gifted sub for an entry or 500 bits for an entry. And so he was like, he started doing bits. Like, he did X number of bits. And I'm like, you do know that the bits don't get us to the sub goal, right? We still have to meet the sub goal before the giveaway happens. He's like, are you kidding me? So then he had to do gifted subs instead. But anyway.
That's funny, though.
So yeah, Black, I hear your rant. It does suck that the gifted sub is any different, right? It should be the same.
See why it should be different.
Yeah. Why should Twitch take more money from that? It doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense to me either.
Jeff Bezos' pockets must be getting dry, I guess. I don't know. We all know that's a lie. Those things are deep.
Did you see the fucking interview he was in the other day? He was like, I may be worth this, but Amazon is worth this, and that's how much money I've given back. What? It's like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, this is how much money I paid my employees, and this is how much I've profited, so that's how much I'm giving back. And I was like, and what fucked up logic is this?
Yeah. Well, I guess he was trying to make a point that he could have all of that too, but that's not how that works, right? You need the other things to get to that.
It's also write-offs. You're making more money while giving away more money. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Hey, there are a very few amount of people who will ever experience that type of lifestyle.
Oh, I agree.
100%.
So there are,
it's like less than a 0.5%.
Yeah.
Look, and I'm all for dreams. If you want to set yourself up to try to be one of those people, go for it. But that's probably harder than winning the lottery.
Unattainable. It's unattainable.
Yeah, it's probably harder than winning a lottery. Like, and winning the lottery is like a game of chance. That's like a game of effort. you're gonna put a game of effort in to not win.
Oh, and great loss.
It's a game of effort and chance at that.
Yeah. But well, hey, okay, so
that goes the same for streaming.
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, you look though, like there's people that take the path. It's just how much effort you want to put in, like what are you willing to do? Are you looking to improve? We talked about this with Swerve, right? How do you flip the switch? How do you get going? It's just a matter of are you willing to put in the work while also trying to have fun? And that's what streaming is, right? If you want to make it big, I believe anybody who's streaming on any of these platforms, it could have one viewer right now, could be one of those guys who now have 80,000 people watching at a time. Because when you go watch those old clips that keep popping up on TikTok, right, of Tim the Tap Man when he first started, or Nick Merckx when he first started, or any of these people, Courage. You watch Courage's was hilarious. Okay,
they were.
Like Tim's was like, okay, this guy's kind of funny. He's got this long hair and he's kind of quirky. You can see how Courage looked like a guy who was sitting in a plain ass room in a white t-shirt, kind of like Casper right here, right now. Yeah. And he was just
starting out.
And he's just starting out, but like then he's standing there and there he goes. You just bring the personality, you put in the work, you put in the effort, and you can get there. It's just a matter of like how much you're willing to sacrifice to obtain that. I think when it comes to streaming, it's obtainable. It's just a matter of like, are you worth watching?
Right.
That's why I wear the same color t-shirt every day.
Are you a box office hit, or are you just a 3 on the Rotten Tomatoes or a 3 on a Rotten Tomatoes? Right.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It is what it is.
How do you trust Rotten Tomatoes though?
Oh, I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes at all. Some of the best movies are super low score, okay?
I'll never understand that.
And then some of the ones that I'm like, I can't sit and watch this are one of the highest ones. It's like, you critics have a different taste. You're like analyzing the mannerisms of the actor. And I'm just like, I just want to know how this plot line is.
Right.
Right. I'll never forget it.
I want to be able to Google the ending of a show before I finish it.
I'll never forget it, man. I had Xfinity and I opened up, DVR or whatever, or the on-demand on Xfinity the one time. I don't know if you guys even know Xfinity. Xfinity is like one of the cable companies, right? Anyway, on-demand had The Happening so high up, and I just fucking lost all respect. I'm like, what do you mean?
The Happening was good.
Okay, we're done here. We're done.
Deal with it. We've had this conversation before.
I think we did have it, and that's why we're not having it again.
What was it with Hoy?
No,
I think it was with Hoy.
No, I think it was a movie conversation. It might have been Dustin. It was one of the early ones. We were talking about movies and things like that. But we are getting around the 2-hour window. So I'm going to start.
It was good.
Transition us down. A couple things here for me that I want to say is, Trevor, thank you for stepping in. I know you were in Black's chat, and it was like, hey, Black just kind of shot it out, spur of the moment, and I'm sure I'll talk to Sam. I think I already messaged Sandwich about it, or he was in Black's chat. So I'm glad that he asked you, because when I put 2 and 2 together, I'm like, hell yeah, let's get him on here on a Saturday instead of a Tuesday. That'll keep us kind of balanced then. So this was great to have you on. As I tell everybody, because we haven't had anybody we hated yet, feel free to always sign up again for round 2, and I'll figure out how I'm going to circle back around, because we're going to try to keep these going all year long. And more than happy to have you. If something changed, life, streaming, gaming, new season of Warzone, new nuke, whatever happens, you want to get on and talk about it, feel free to sign up again.
Isn't there a new season of Fortnite?
Coming up on it's Tuesday, Monday night into Tuesday.
I can go ask my kid. He's probably pumped for it.
I'll probably stream it too. But
I'm starting childcare leave, so I have to get some stuff done between now and Tuesday. But I'm hoping to stream when it goes live. I'm hoping to.
I might join you on that, Caesar.
You'll have to join Ari as well then.
That's fine.
Can you do it? Can you do it? It's a content day. It should be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have interesting conversations.
It's all fun.
I actually haven't had a good long conversation with Ari in a long time.
So it'd be good to be in a call. But yeah, if anything changes and you want to dive back in, or if things haven't changed and you just want to get back out here and have a conversation again, I always say that these have been nice for me, selfishly for me, to get to know people that, you know, I'm locked inside and I don't get to see people these days. So this is a lot of fun to get to meet people. You're in Detroit. I don't know if I'd ever see you. I guess if I ever make it my way to a Detroit Lions game on Thanksgiving Day, I might bump into you. But
right.
I don't know if I don't know if I'd meet people. So this is awesome to have you on, and you're more than welcome to join at any time.
I appreciate you guys having me. That's it's been fun.
It was
Absolutely.
Great.
What
do those say? I think I noticed that one, but I didn't notice that one.
Yeah, I've got quite a few tattoos. These are truth and justice in Latin. Nice. Went to school for law enforcement, and that career kind of didn't pan out because of an injury. So,
cool. Well, still got those ones that mean something, right?
Yep, that's why I got them.
Yeah.
Yep,
that's awesome, man.
So, we always draw a lesson from this, Trevor. We always try to draw a lesson from this. I don't know if anything's sticking out from you two on our conversation, but if not, don't worry about it.
Chocolate.
Don't jump off of bridges.
I will think through something. If you guys think through something that's not on fresh on your mind right now, feel free to DM me. But I'll be, you know, this last one I actually had to go listen to Me in Black again before I chose the title of our lesson of ours this past episode, because I couldn't remember anything that jumped out. But then I was like, okay, yeah, this works. So I'll do the same thing for this one, and if you guys think of something, just let me know. Otherwise, Trevor, I will DM you on Discord saying, "Hey, I kind of came up with this. What do you think about it?" And do not hesitate to be like, "I fucking hate it." Give me something else.
Has that happened yet?
No, I think some people have twisted or took it, transformed
it,
reworded. Yeah, that happens, which is perfectly fine. I just have to keep it for thumbnail purposes.
So many letters.
Yeah, I got to keep it kind of constrained where it fits in the little TV screen. I don't have to modify anything, but
I'm the it is what it is guy. I don't. Yeah, it's good with me.
It is what it is.
Yeah, because the way I feel is, especially since Black is kind of with me, I feel like if it's good enough for you, it's got to be good enough for me, right? So that's how I feel. So
we're gonna build you into it. We're gonna let you. You gotta defy sometimes.
But I don't. No matter what, I'm the most of the day I'm the delegator.
Sure.
When I get here, I'm just
you like to be okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, this is my outlet from, you know.
So
it's probably why I let my wife spank me.
Well, let me
100%.
Let me ask the question here, right? And this happens all the time. I try to wrap up like 5 times if you don't know.
Oh, you're good.
Let me ask a question here. When you say that, right? You say you're delegating throughout the day, right? Or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you feel like if you get like how do you handle that? Like if somebody wants to give you a suggestion, do you just continue down your way, or do you consider it in order to make what your approach or what your strategy was, take it in and improve? Because I personally, I do that a lot during the day as well. I work on a team and I constantly am hounding them to give me more input, because like as much as I am maybe steering, I'm a firm believer in there's always room for improvement. And what I might be going, so when I give you a suggestion, right? If I send you a thing like, hey, I'm thinking this lesson, I almost want, like, I don't mind. It doesn't hurt my feelings if somebody gives me something back, because I'm always looking for that growth. I'm always looking for that, like, oh, I didn't think about that, or something like that. What are your thoughts on that, Trevor? Knowing that you're delegating all day.
Yeah, so when I have, if one of my employees has a suggestion, it's usually reverted back to rules that we already have in place. Okay. And it's like, we've got this lane, and this lane is where we stay. And I'm basically the holder of that information. And so all of that filters through me, and that's how we run our business.
Do you ever have to update them?
Um,
Based on anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, with our business, it's ever changing.
Sure.
So when a new policy, new procedure comes in, it's my job to know it, learn it, love it, and teach it. And then when all of my employees have that, that suggestion, there's been a couple times where we've taken suggestions from employees over the years, and they've made their way into corporate policy. So it does happen.
Okay. Yeah, I was just interested knowing that and things like that. Because, when you said, take it under a wing and kind of just go with the flow type of deal, I tend to think like sometimes there's opportunity to make it even better. Like you might have something, being new, right? You might have a suggestion that wasn't thought of, right? Things like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just excited to learn. And that's what I've been, taking all of this information in and watching so many different streamers and trying to take everything in that I can to try to, improve my content. And it wasn't but a month ago that I started on TikTok, and that was, I caught one of Black's TikToks. I was like, man, he's got such good content on TikTok that I can do this. And so I started, cutting clips, and took me back to my original, YouTube clips, and I started cutting clips on this and, uploading to TikTok. And I had one that kind of blew me up to 500 overnight. And so it's just,
Nice. I think he's sexy too. So
that guy was beautiful. Tell me that guy was not beautiful. That was the most beautiful man I've ever seen. I was like, oh my God.
Aside from Ryan Reynolds, that man was built.
For sure. Listen, I know. I see you with that look. I see you with the look.
Which one was it?
I made a video. There's a Watermelon Sugar song on TikTok that's trending right now, and he says, "Hey baby, do you want to be mine?" and whatever. And he stitched it. I'm like, I stitched it, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I do."
Nice. He was a good-looking dude,
right? That's why I was like, God, this guy's a unicorn.
I was wondering if it was the guy that is like the "Tell me why you're single."
And then he's even better looking than that.
Right here.
What?
He said, "Tell me why I'm single."
Oh, no. There's that guy who's like, "Tell me why I'm single," and then all these other guys come on and they're like, "How are you single? I know how I'm single. How are you single?"
How are you? Yeah. No, this guy's better looking than that.
Okay.
He was. Yeah.
That guy reminded me. That guy reminds me of Bryce Harper, to be honest, with the hair he has, the beard, the facial appearance.
Yeah, this guy looked like he stepped right out of a modeling poster, and I'm just like,
100%. This guy just wearing walked away from Calvin Klein photographies.
Right.
Okay, this conversation took a weird turn. You guys need to go hang out.
Don't judge me.
Don't judge us.
You need to go hang out with your wives for a little bit, okay?
Listen, my wife laughed her ass off. It was like, and she saw it, and she's like, "Yeah, that's you."
Yeah. My wife gives me a look of confusion. She's like, I gotta wonder sometimes.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, the Ryan Reynolds ones, I had to tag you in, Black. I had to tag you in that one.
It's so true. Though. He's like, we don't talk about it, but it's true.
All right.
It's good.
Well, hey, once again, Trevor, I appreciate you stepping in for us this week on a spur of the moment, on a whim, and having this be an awesome episode.
You guys have the same headset?
I would have loved for us to go further and further into the sports conversation, but I already saw Black closing his eyes and falling asleep, so I didn't want to have that happen on stream.
I'm so lost.
So I will be I will be starting an NFL podcast as well.
Oh, nice.
Once we get a little bit closer to the season. My other streamer friend, he's a big Cleveland Browns fan. I'm a big Detroit Lions fan. Two of the worst teams in the NFL. It's going to be great. So we're going to be doing weekly recaps as well as running through the teams. So
nice.
might be hitting you up on that if you're really down for sports. I can see the sports passion in your eyes. So
yeah, I don't know how much I can do on football, but I'm down to talk about it. Like, it is the thing that when I had free time, I would sit and watch, pretty much all the games on Sunday.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't really care about teams, so I would sit and like watch most of the games. I don't get to do that much anymore without getting yelled at.
Football's where you have a home
Rightfully
run,
so.
right?
Yes. Yeah, you got it. You
Okay,
got it.
100%.
Are you planning
100%.
Are you planning to do like a vodcast like this where it's like video, or are you just planning to do like a podcast where? Yeah.
No, yeah, it's gonna be a video cast, both him and I for sure. And
you gotta go to the games and get phone video so you can actually use it. So it's not NFL copyrighted or whatever, right? If you have just hey, people, send in your clips so we can watch them, rightfully so. You know.
Be a part of the cast.
Be a part of the cast. Send us your clips.
Right.
That's pretty
awesome.
dope. That gives people the ability to be a part of something bigger than them.
Well, we've been talking about doing that for this at some point, right? We've been talking about sending your gaming clips in and then having the guests like rate them or something. I don't know when I'll make that a thing, but maybe eventually we'll figure it out.
I'll send you clips. I'll send you some snipes.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I fucking hate sniping in Warzone so much. I hit nothing but fucking body every time.
He's like, white.
Yeah, white. Yeah. It's so
I'm
annoying, man.
I'm the guy that's pulling you out of the helicopter as you're flying over.
Yeah. It's so annoying, man. I'm like, just give me a headshot one time.
Right.
Just one time.
So before we end it, I don't know how this is going to look, but before we end it, I don't know how it's going to look. God.
Let's see if the camera pulls it up.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to.
It can't focus on it.
It's not going to. Nope. The brightness. Maybe blacks might be able to.
Black, do you have
pull it out. Yeah.
I just had to, so that way you can understand why. There we go.
Okay. Okay.
Ish. And then.
One sec. It's got to get me out of the frame.
Oh, there it goes. Hold on. Wait for the start. I mean, come on.
Oh
He's a unicorn.
I mean, I'm not looking at him like that, but you can look at him all you want.
He's a unicorn. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen.
I missed the chat earlier.
I need you.
Yeah, right. I missed the chat. I missed the chat earlier. That Barry asked what games you play, and I'll just answer Barry saying Casper primarily plays, pretty much only plays COD, mainly Warzone right now. Mainly Warzone right now.
Mainly Warzone. Yep. Every once in a while on the stream, you'll catch one of my kids playing Fortnite or multiplayer, but mostly me.
Yep. All right, guys. I can't thank you enough for stepping in, Trevor, for this conversation. It was wonderful. It was great getting to know you. I look forward to listening to some of that football talk, especially on a week that I missed the games.
Yeah.
And I can get to catch up through you guys. That'd be awesome.
Okay.
So with that, I will take us to the fuzzy screen. See you next week.